Hey, it's John again to play Immaculate Grid. Coming off a Brewers win yesterday and a dual win on Immaculate Grid. Played grid number 55, so slowly inching my way towards 90, which is where I started this whole thing at 91. At least for the videos. I started playing a couple weeks before that, so I'll see some that I've seen before, but hey, it'll probably have been a year at that point. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's play. I think I'll be showing grid number 55 here, which I didn't have such a rare grid here. Number one, Giancarlo Stanton was the only Marlins MVP, so I was kind of stuck with that one. But David Price is a Dodger Tiger at 11% was a lot higher. I forgot about my guy, Schoolboy Rowe, who's a decent fixture for these two teams plus the Phillies. I went with Hideo Nomo in the timed round, and he was sub 1%. That was kind of surprising to me that Hideo Nomo was less remembered as a Dodger slash Tiger than was David Price. But recency bias is what it is. But I mean, Nomo was a phenom when he was with LA, at least those first couple of years. So, and for a couple of years afterwards, he came back to LA and had a couple of great years. So, anyway, let's do that. Then let's hit go, and away we go. No teams. Is it every Saturday? Might be. Let's see. That's most of them. Let's just go Ty Cobb. 3,000 hits and a 6-4 season. Quite sure Pete Rose did that at some point. Played center field, Willie Mays. All right, Hall of Famer who won a Gold Glove at some point. Let's see, Mazeroski. Hall of Famer with 300 average in their career. Lou Gehrig. Gold Glove in a 6-WAR season. How about Greg Maddux? Bunch of those. Gold Glove in center field, Andrew Jones. Joe Jackson. And nope, don't do that. Shoot, I'm over a minute. How did that happen? These are not hard. Let's see, any center fielder. Let's go Tris Speaker. All right, I got there. Rarity score of 80. Let's see, so I had Willie Mays and Pete Rose and Greg Maddux. So I had three of the biggest choices. Yeah, I just wanted to avoid stepping on a landmine. Like Pete Rose for the Hall of Fame would have been an example of a potential landmine I could have stepped on. Um, but also his WAR is not that crazy high. It's only like 75 for his career, which lasted 24 years. But there were a couple big seasons in there. I knew that much. So all right. So we'll stop share. We'll reshare. Find yesterday's grid. I guess grid number 55. All right. Let's see how obscure we can get with some of these. Yeah, so none of my relievers with 300 career averages are in the Hall of Fame. Francisco Rodriguez might be someday, but not today. Um, so if we're going for someone semi-obscure, what honey? 0.1. Good start. And for a 300 career average in a 6-WAR season at any point. I wonder if like maybe a Larry Walker might work. Or if Moises Alou ever had a 6-4 season. I actually think Moises Alou maybe it never did. Like he may have had like a 5.8 season or something like that. Tony Gwynn will certainly work. Um, Let's see, might be able to sneak in like I think Paul Wayner's a 300 career. Pretty sure he's a career 300 hitter. Um, Hornsby would work. Like maybe a Sam Crawford would work. Yeah, let me keep pondering that a little bit. 3,000 career hits. I wonder if Rafael Palmeiro ever got any games in center field. He certainly played the outfield, but center, not so much. Um, and of course, we don't need the player to have won the Gold Glove as a center fielder. They could have won the Gold Glove at a different position. So one example that comes to mind is Craig Biggio. Played a bit of center field when the Astros had acquired Jeff Kent, and before they acquired Carlos Beltran. That one, I think he moved over to left that season, but I think he was a Gold Glove winner in the 90s. Let's try that one. Some other people had the same idea I did. He also would have worked here. His 97 season was north of 9 WAR. Um, Here's one. Big Rick Rochelle. 0.02. It's a little bit more like it. Let's see. Any Gold Glover who's in the Hall of Fame? How do we feel about Nellie Fox? He's a Hall of Famer. It's 0.3. 3,000 hit club. Let's see who we think the most obscure member of that club is. Like an Eddie Collins or a Paul Wayner. Loop Rock certainly works. I'm just gonna guess that most Pirates fans would go with Honus Wagner for this one, so Rock's a 1%. It's decent. There's only 30 or so people who work, so. All right, 3,000 career hits, and at some point having a 6 WAR season. That's gonna be most of them. I haven't used Yount yet, or Molitor for that matter. Um, I'm not 100% sure that Molitor did have a 6 WAR season. I'm pretty sure he did. 87 was a big year, but it was an injury season. He was a DH later in his career. Not sure how good he was WAR-wise in any of those other seasons. I do think he played some center field though. So maybe that's where I use Molitor. Takes a full percent. And this is, of course, going to be most of them. But Naplazoe, also 1%, but he gets 1.0%. All right, now coming over here, 300 average with a 6 WAR season somewhere in there. Nab, Larry Walker, still sub 1. 300 average, playing center field at some point in time. Bullet Rogan, 0.05 for a rarity score of 5. Yeah, I guess I could have snuck a bullet in either of these, several Negro League players in either of these. But not for not for Gold Glove or 3,000 hits. So decent showing, decent showing. 5 overall, but I was over a minute. I don't know why I struggled so much with it. But yeah, I think I think this is all of them. I don't think there's ever been a player who got to 3,000 hits but didn't have at least one 6 WAR season. Even Lou Brock, probably. All right, well, we will call it there. Thank you so much for playing, and we'll back at it later. Peace.